Namaste, ma'am.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, ma'am.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
So how are you, all of you?
Fine, ma'am.
Okay. So we'll be starting. How you attempted your term 1? How is the biology? You are able to answer all the MCQs? Amrita?
Yes,
You are able
ma'am.
to answer all the MCQs?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you share me the paper in my WhatsApp group? In the WhatsApp? You have it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Can you share the paper?
Yes, ma'am.
So now in your schools, how is the revision going on? So we will do the revision accordingly only.
Ma'am, in our school, they completed the portions for biology, ma'am, and they, our ma'am is asking us to study one lesson, ma'am. If it is a big lesson like preparation, she will ask us to study and come the topics, and she will ask questions from
So
them.
what are the topics for term 2?
Ma'am,
Can
how
you-
do organism reproduce? Heredity and evolution. In that only heredity and our environment lesson, ma'am.
Our environment, heredity, and
How do organisms reproduce?
how do organisms reproduce? This one, natural resources, nothing they are not giving a other one. Which is it is for the assignment, no? One lesson, last lesson.
That is for only multiple assessment. They did not take it for studying purpose.
Okay, they are not taking it. So we first these 3 lessons is enough, sufficient for term 2.
Yes.
So with you people tell me, okay, based on how the revision is going on, we'll format these 3 lessons. Which one we will start with?
Heredity.
We'll start with heredity, that is Mendel's.
Yes, ma'am.
All of you are okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So how I will do the revision is, I'm not going to teach you all. Okay, teaching is done. Okay, all of you should open your books. Open your textbooks, no problem for me. Okay, open your textbook and also keep a rough book at the side of you. If I ask you to write the answer, you should write the answer and show me in the video. With this, you will be able, because see, you also have prepared for MCQs in the term 1. Now coming to here, term 2, it will be subjective. So you need to also improve your writing way. So we will be doing like that. It's okay?
Yes.
Okay. So how many of you remember I'm opening the textbook and also my presentation, which I have been showing you all. Okay. So 1 minute. So all of you open your textbooks, go to heredity. Have you opened, all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So in case of heredity, first write down the important questions. All of you have opened your textbook, one notebook you have kept.
Yes.
Hmm. First, I'll tell you all the 5 marks question. Okay. The 5 marks question is dihybrid cross. Either they will be giving you all what is the so in this question, how they will be giving? They will be giving in 2 or 3 ways. Like define law of independent assortment and explain in detail with a figure. That is an indirect question. You're writing it down.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, can you repeat again, ma'am?
Define law of independent assortment and explain in detail with a diagram. Then also you should write only you should write that definition and write the dihybrid cross. Complete. You should explain and put the figure. Okay, that is one indirect question. Next one, they will be asking you all directly. What is a dihybrid cross? Explain in detail with a neat label diagram. Because why I'm telling this is a 5 marks question is, previously in previous years, 5 marks means usually we used to get from life process only. But since this year, we don't have major, no, so this may be one of the major 5 marks question. Finish?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Next one, next 5 marks question will be on from this lesson, sex determination. When they ask you again the sex determination questions, you should put it with the neat label diagrams. So here, what are the questions you can get is, please, you put a heading like sex determination. So you can get in form of parts, or you can get a direct questions. So you can, these are all the questions you will be getting from, it can be a 1 mark question, it can be future, it can be a 3 marks question, or it can, all this together can come as a 5 marks question. Okay. Are you writing it down?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am.
What is a sex chromosome? How many pairs of chromosomes are there in human beings? How is the sex of the human offspring determined?
Ma'am, can you repeat the third question, ma'am?
How is the sex of the human offspring determined? Draw a diagram depicting sex determination in man or in human beings.
Ma'am,
Draw a diagram
Yes, ma'am.
depicting
Yes,
sex of a man or human being.
Oh,
So in this itself, in the same one itself, in sex determination itself, you will be getting this, whatever I told you, these questions can come together as a 5 marks question, or they can be separated and be asked as 3 marks also. Okay. So in this itself, how is the sex determined in the other animals? What are the factors that determine the sex, or explain the environmental factors that determines the sex in tortoise or in other animals we have studied? No.
Yes, ma'am. The atmospheric temperature.
Yeah. That will be coming as a 3 marks answer. Explain the sex determination by environmental factors by giving an example. Or they can generally ask what are the factors that affect the determination of sex in living organisms. Then you should write both the environmental as well as the genetic, that is the human beings. Next, finally, 1 mark question. What are autosomes? What are autosomes? Forgot, all of you? Anybody remember what are autosomes? The chromosomes which does not take part in which are useful for passing the genetic information from or they are known as somatic chromosome, which they are not as sex chromosomes. So those are called as autosomes. In case of human beings, there are 22 pairs of chromosomes and 1 pair is sex chromosome. And finally, another 1 mark question will be what are chromosomes? So you got it?
Yes, ma'am.
So these are the major 2 5 marks questions you will be getting. Okay. Either this sex determination they will be dividing as in bits and giving in parts, or you can get it as 3 or you can get as 5 marks. Now coming to 3 marks questions. We have many 3 marks questions from this chapter. It can be coming a small bit as 1 mark or you can be coming as a 3 marks question. So first we will be starting off with the monohybrid cross. So you all know that is one of the you will get that question. You will definitely get that question. It can be a part of a 5 marks question, or you can be means they cannot give completely as a 5 marks question. They will be clubbing with some other question, or it can be a part of the 3 marks question. So what is monohybrid? Similar like dihybrid. What is monohybrid cross? Given in detail. The mono explain in detail with a neat labeled diagram of monohybrid cross, or explain the law of dominance and explain in detail its significance with a neat labeled diagram. You're writing it down?
Yes, ma'am.
So you will be getting any number of questions in this. I'll be giving you all the, now I am not going to tell in the next class. Okay. You will be having a small thing. I have told you, no, I'll give you some questions which are in a similar pattern to the monohybrid and dihybrid. So anything you get, you should write only this. Only the way of framing the question is different. Okay. This is about the monohybrid cross. Next question for 3 marks. Why Mendel selected pea plants for his experiments? What are its advantages? Have you written?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Next, what are the contrasting traits chosen by Mendel in the pea plants? You should write the 7 contrasting traits along with the dominant trait and the recessive. If they give for 3 marks, okay. If they give for 1 mark, you can choose the whatever is there in monohybrid cross and dihybrid cross. They have chosen no flower color, seed color. Those is enough.
And can you please repeat the question, ma'am?
What are the contrasting traits chosen by Mendel? This can come only as 3 marks answer. And also they can give as a 1 mark answer as to explain, give like one example of the give one trait as an example. So at that time you can write only one trait. Which one is dominant, which one is recessive. Like flower color, violet is dominant, white is recessive. One is enough. Whereas if they ask you for 3 marks, all the 7 you should write. You put a small nice table. You write the character, dominant trait, recessive trait, and write all those. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next, another 1 mark answer you will be getting is, what is the scientific name of the pea plant? What is the scientific name? Pisum sativum. Next, another 3 marks answer you will be getting is, what are variations? Explain the significance of their variations.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am, after telling the important questions, ma'am, can you explain the blood grouping once, ma'am?
Blood grouping, I'll explain it. No problem. You finished writing?
Yes, ma'am, this question I've written.
Okay. So these are the major questions you will be getting from this chapter. So what we will do today is, you want me to explain the blood grouping, no? Actually, it is not there in your syllabus, but okay, if you are interested, I will be giving.
Ma'am, in the texting questions, ma'am, like in text questions, ma'am, there is a question of blood grouping, ma'am, and ma'am also said that it might be asked.
Okay. I'm opening your textbook. 1 minute. Write another question. It can come as 3 marks. Explain the difference between acquired characters and inherited characters. Okay, this is the question you have asked, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You have, all of you have written all the questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you people have an idea that Mendel has selected few contrasting characters. One can be a dominant, one can be a recessive. Only when dominant traits are expressed, whether they are in a homozygous or whether they are in a heterozygous condition also. Like tall is a dominance. So tall can be expressed when either it is in TT, that is in homozygous condition, or capital T and small t, whether it's in the heterozygous condition. So in these two forms, the tree will be tall itself, phenotypically. Okay, the T will be tall itself, phenotype, whereas this is the genotype. It can be TT or it can be capital T, small t. Whereas in case of recessive characters, only if the small t, that is shortness of the plant, only if they are in a homozygous condition only, the plant will be short. Understood? So only the recessive character if it's in a homozygous condition, that is it should be in a, both of the alleles should be similar, small t, then only we'll get dwarf plants. Now this is what the Mendel has told us. So one character trait will be dominant, one trait will be recessive, like that. Whereas coming to the blood groups, so we have three major blood groups: A, B, and O. All these three blood groups so all these three blood groups, they are controlled by a multiple allele. Means here only two alleles are there. Okay, in general. Whereas in case of blood groups, we have more than two alleles. So this we call it as a multiple alleles. And nothing is dominant or recessive over here. Okay, none of this. A is not a dominant group, B is not a, it's not a recessive, or O. So all can be inherited. There is nothing in these three alleles. One is not dominant or one is not recessive. All are dominant only. Okay. So what will happen is, so what is the question? So we can get either of them. We can get a group, we can get a B group, or we can get a AB group, or we can get all these are dominant only. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
1 minute, I'll tell you all. It's not like that. So if I put a square, one side I have kept A and O. One side I have kept B and O. So if A and B, now we'll cross. Okay. A and B. A and B is both our characters are dominant only. So we have a AB blood group. When B and O is mixed, Here the blood group will be B only. Here O will become like a recessive. It will be there, but we cannot be, it cannot be shown phenotypically. Okay, when we test it, it will be like a coming as a B blood group only. But although O is there, it cannot be coming. Okay, in the same way here, AO. So here also the blood group will be A only. Whereas when two O's are there, the blood group will be O. So if we take now, in this case, the recessive will be O. When we put a combination. So in the question when we ask, a man with the blood group A marries a woman with the blood group O, and their daughter has blood group O. Is this information enough to tell which of the traits of the blood group A and O is dominant? This information is not enough for us to tell whether A is dominant or O is dominant. Understood? You are able to get it, this information?
Yes, ma'am.
Now I'll put what he told in the question. Now mother, man is having A blood group. So A will be, O also will be there, but it will be in a recessive form. Whereas female is having O blood group. So when we cross them, we can get one group is AO. Again, one can be AO. One can we get OO. Another one will get OO. So tell me whether we can tell it is dominant or recessive. Can we tell it?
No,
Can
ma'am.
we tell it? Huh?
We cannot tell, ma'am.
Yes. So we cannot tell whether AO is because of the combination we are getting it. Okay, we cannot tell whether A is dominant or O is dominant. In whatever combination we get, the person may get a A group or O group. Why? Because why we cannot tell it is dominant is because this one blood groups are controlled by multiple alleles. Blood groups are controlled by multiple alleles, so we cannot tell whether the one group is dominant or one group is recessive. Understood?
Okay.
You're able
Yes.
to get it? Only you should remember A group and B group also will be having a like a recessive trait, the O. So when a combination takes place, you can get a blood group or you can get the O blood group, like example in the question. Understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So in this one, we'll talk in detail. I'll also show you all in form of figure in the next class. It was not, I'll show you all in the figure also. So what you do is, whatever the questions I have told you, you prepare really very well for the next class. Every Saturday you will be having my class, and every chapter will take 2 classes. Okay. In the first class, I'll give you all the important questions and make you all to practice the important questions. Whereas in the second class, I'll be asking you all to tell the question or write the question. Okay. All of you should answer. Now you should please don't keep your sorry, I was not able to, I got disconnected. So you are able to hear me what I have told?
No, mom, we don't hear.
Okay. So every chapter will be having 2 classes of revision. Okay. In the first class of the chapter, I'll be giving all the important questions and make you all to practice some of the important questions. Whereas in the second class, you'll be ready by the next week for that chapter. In the second class, I'll be completely asking you all the important questions. All of you should answer. And also write and show me. So if you have a repair with your video or audio, you get it repaired in your laptops. Because once it is done means you no need to look towards biology. Only finally it will be sufficient.